Hello. The job I've got to do today is to get the trellis for the tomatoes ready. Now there is already there's a rope there and a wire there that goes right the length of the greenhouse, but one's on this side of the middle and one's on that side of the middle. So what I want to do is put the tomatoes in line down the middle so that I've got room on that side and I've got room on that side, and then I can put stuff on the shelves. So I want a string that goes from that end in line with these poles, so it goes bang in the middle. So what I'm going to do is connect it up to there. There's already they've connected these two and I've tested it. It is quite strong, so it's strong enough to hold a few tomatoes. I wouldn't want me to swing on it, but and then at the other end I can do a similar thing. At this end I can just tie something from that to that and then tie the rope to that, and that should be strong enough to hold the tomatoes at about that level, because there's going to be 1, 2, 3 tomatoes in that tray and one here, one at the other end, so 5 tomatoes. So it should be strong enough to hold that. Okay, well I've tied it up at this end and wrapped it at that end, tied it, wrapped it, and then took it back and tied it again. So I mean, it's got a little bit of give in it, but that's fine. It'll hold weight of a few tomatoes, so that's not a problem. There's a piece of this rope left that was similar to the other piece that's in the greenhouse, so I'm going to use that up, but it's quite long. But I've had an idea, so I'll show you that when it's done. Right, so I've doubled it over and I'll explain what I'm doing later. So it doesn't need to be double for the sake of the tomatoes, but it's quite a long piece. I didn't want to cut it in case I change my mind and decide to use it for something else. I'm going to tie it to that piece of black wire that goes from one to the other. So those nails are in quite strong, so that black wire is quite strong. I've pulled on it. That's not going to come out. So I'm going to tie the rope to that. One. Making sure that this is tight. What you don't want is this to be hanging down like a washing line as soon as I put a bit of weight on it. So you want it as tight as possibly can. And I always seem to pick the hottest days to be in the greenhouse. When it's cold and miserable, I'm out digging, and when it's boiling hot, I'm in the greenhouse. Okay, so that's done. Now, what I'm going to do is tie each one across, and we'll do 2 things. One, it will actually make it a bit stronger, so it's not just hanging on the wire, it's actually going around the nails as well. I had the rope doubled over, and now I'll put one piece along this side, tied it to a hook there, and on the same on that side. It looks a bit messy because there's also this other one which is tied to this one. So I've got two pieces coming down. One is this side of the door, and the idea is I could put something like a cucumber here and then have it go up the wire, and it could go then all along there, and I could do the same here. You can see let's stand out of the way, it gets quite a bit of sun, and that's how we'll get it later in the day. So cucumber, obviously once it starts growing it'll go straight up here and have lots of vines and get plenty of sun. Then it can go all the way along that wire. And then there is a little bit left over, and I can use that to tie to the pot so that the weight of the cucumber will hold this tight. Okay, just for safety reason, obviously I don't want to get tripped up by that. So for the moment, what I'm going to do is just tie it up. Let it swing. In fact, there's a hook there, you can just hook onto that. So these are now tied out of the way, and then when the cucumbers are ready I can use that to tie the cucumbers up.